Hello friends, this is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming and welcome to another Path of Exile video. In today's video I'm going to go over a method that you can use to deterministically farm for specific items, unique items, and currency items, as well as how to indefinitely maintain a specific map so that you can farm it over and over again to try to get these items through divination cards. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and let's move on to the video. Alright, so I'm going to go step by step in this method. The first step is complete as much of your atlas as you can. You want to get about 120 atlas completion initially, and you're going to drop this a little bit by decompleting some of your maps, which can be done through a specific currency item that I'm going to go over in a few minutes here. But you want to have over 120 so that when you remove those maps you'll have 100 or greater completed bonus objectives, which makes it so that you have a 100% chance for maps to drop one tier higher. Each map you have complete increases this by 1%, so that'll be 100 maps total. You'll want to get all the way up into red maps and also try to get some unique maps completed because they add to that bonus. And we're going to move on to our second objective here. Alright, so our next step is to go on to the Path of Exile wiki, which is on pathofexile.gamepedia.com / we're going to go to divination _card. So you can also just go to the PoE wiki, Google it, and type in divination card, of course, and it'll take you to the divination card portion of the site. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for specific items that we're going to be searching for. So say you want fusing orbs, we're going to look for divination cards that drop fusing orbs. And in this case, for reasons I'll explain later, a lower tier map is generally going to be better. We do want it to be a map, so we're going to ignore things like the Den Act 7, but in this case we see loyalty. It's 5 divination cards, drops 3 fusings. Lucky Connections is 7 divination cards for 20 fusings, but it's a much rarer drop and the maps are higher, so it's more difficult to set up for our purposes. So maybe we want to go with Grotto, which is a tier 5 map. And so we look through here and we see the different divination cards that can drop. We've got the Gambler, we got the Watcher, we got Loyalty, which is the one we're aiming for. Various things that specifically can drop here, Strand, Rite of Elements. Nothing too exciting, but Loyalty is the one we're going for, so maybe we want to go for that. For my purposes, I'm actually going for Exalted Orbs. I want to get some Exalts, so I'll type in Exalted. We'll see Abandoned Wealth, which drops in certain maps, but they're all very high tier maps. And we have the Hoarder, which can drop in a couple of different areas, Vault being one of them. I, for this purpose, am going for the Saint's Treasure specifically, because it drops in Alleyways. Alleyways is a great map. I shaped it so it's going to be tier 6, and it's a very linear map I can run. And it has Assassin's Favor, nothing too exciting there. There are no really valuable unique daggers you can get. You can get the Gambler, get some more divination cards, Saint's Treasure, and the Blazing Fire. And I'm going to give a little money-making tip here. So you can actually get a Chin Soul and buy the Jeweler's Touch Prophecy for 9 chaos, and 5 Link Chin Souls are actually selling for 20 chaos. So in this particular case, I can farm up the Blazing Fire, get 6 of them, get a Chin Soul, buy a Jeweler's Touch, use 1 Jeweler's Orb, get a guaranteed 5 Link Chin Soul, and resell it for 20 chaos, which is really good value. It's a 10 chaos profit every time I complete one of these sets. But the real reason we're going to do it is to get these Exalted Orbs. So I'm going to go over the method for actually setting up your shaped atlas in the next section, and I'll see you there. Alright, now that we've got our atlas all set up, and now that we have picked out our map, in this case I chose Alleyways. I have it shaped so it's tier 6. What we're going to do is, I don't actually have a lot to demonstrate, but we're going to try to get these Apprentice Cartographer seals. And in the case I was doing 6 and 7, the reason I am out of the the Journeyman's Cartographer seals is because I use them all to shape my atlas, but I'll show you with the Master Cartographer Sextant. And we're looking to make the Journeyman's Cartographer seals here. I meant Sextant earlier. And the way we do that is 3 Journeyman's Cartographer Sextants plus an Orb of Scouring. And this will work for each tier. So the Apprentice Sextants will make the Apprentice seals, which will allow you to decomplete white maps. And yellow maps will be Journeyman, and red maps will be Master. So in order to make, in this case, a Master seal, we simply do 3 of the Sextant plus the Scouring Orb, and we'll get a Master Cartographer's seal, uncompletes any map on the atlas. We're going to need a bunch of these. Basically, you're going to need 1 for each completed map of the tier that you're looking to run. So in this case, tier 6. So I've decompleted all the tier 6 and all of the one above. And what that'll do is it'll limit the map pool that can drop, because how maps work is you can only drop up to technically 2 levels higher, and that's only the boss, unless you have greater than 100. You can drop 2 tiers higher than the map you're on. Generally speaking, you're going to only be able to, from blue mobs or from the regular atlas completion, drop 1 map higher. So if you're running a 6, sometimes you'll get a tier 7, but if you don't have any tier 7s, it'll just default down to 6. Now, maps can only drop maps of their same tier, 1 higher, or maps that are connected to them. Since we don't have any tier 7s or 6s connected to alleyways, since it's shaped, we don't have that problem. So now we can only drop tiers, because we have a 100% chance to drop 1 tier higher. Any 5s will become 6, any tier 6s will become tier 6, and any tier 7s will become a tier 6 as well, since we have no tier 7s. The only tier 6 we have is alleyways. That means we can only drop tiers 1 through 4 and shaped alleyways. So that greatly limits the amount of maps that can drop. Basically guarantees that about half of the maps that drop, give or take, are going to be the shaped alleyways, and that is going to be very important. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to get ready to run our map. Now that we have it all completed, one of the ways you can accumulate maps is you can run the extras of that same tier. Say I want to run a lair or something like a promenade or residence, but you do not kill the boss. Once you have your shaping completed, you absolutely do not want to kill the boss, because once you do, you'll have the map completed. It can drop again, but the same rules apply. So if I were to run this overgrown shrine, kill everything except for the boss, about half of the maps that'll drop will be shaped alleyways. Once you have a good, nice little cache, I would say 5 or 6 at least, but once you have a decent amount, you'll want to go in and you want to gussy it all up. You want to make sure that it is fairly high quantity. You'll want to try to get, I like to aim for over 25% pack size personally, so you want to make sure it's rolled pretty well. And 20, we're looking for 25. You can use chaos too, but I'm almost out of chaos just because I have been buying things for builds. There you go, 26% pack size, 88% quantity. Looks like nothing we can't really deal with. It's tier 6 and we're on like a level 88 character, so it's not going to be a big deal. And then we're going to pop in, this is standard, so I got a bunch of extra tabs that I get to go through. And we're going to grab one of the less valuable sacrifice fragments. And then we are going to use sextants on our maps. We can only use 2. If we were to complete all the red maps, we could have up to 3. That's my goal for the future. But at the moment, I have 2 sextants on here. I'm using one that gives players life and mana recovery from flasks. They're instant. Area contains additional heal monsters that heal. You want additional monsters because they scale with the pack size and you're rolling for pack size. Then I have another one that makes it so strongbox monsters are enraged. Strongbox monsters have 500% increased item quantity, and areas contain an extra strongbox. I kept that one even though it doesn't give extra monsters technically. It does give the monsters from the strong boxes, and it synergizes with rolling ambush. So now that we have both of these, I put Only had to use white sextants because they're close enough. If the circle touches the map, then you'll be able to use it. So as you can see, both of these are on the alleyways. Now that I have that, pop my map in, pop Sacrifice at Dusk in here. That'll give an additional 5% quantity. I believe it's 5%. And then we're going to get Ambush since we have Strongbox synergy with our Sextant roll. We're going to have at least 4 Strongboxes in this area. They're all going to drop 500% increased quantity. The pack sizes are going to be bigger. And now we simply, I'm going to roll the Strongboxes. Increase quantity of items contained. We're going to simply complete our map and try to get divination cards and more shaped alleyways. That's pretty much the name of the game. So I'm just going to run through this map and then we're going to call it a day. But honestly, you can do this with literally any map. It's not any map. It's a lot easier with lower tier maps, so I would try to do it with no higher than 7 if it's your first time doing it. You could potentially maintain higher tier maps, but I wouldn't really recommend trying that personally. So far, not getting a lot of luck with the divination cards or the, we got a Blood of Corruption. Not really sure. That's not on the list, so I don't know if the wiki's messed up, but wrong way. Hitting the dead ends, or if it's because of a specific monster type, which will sometimes happen. There you go. Got a shaped alleyways. So we've already made back. We've sustained this one. I don't bother opening chests most of the time. But if you want to do it, run maps however you find most interesting, most fun. If you want to be a little bit slower, if you want to be quicker, only go down the main courses here. But we're going to do all these strong boxes for sure, unidentified, see if it's anything good. Ice Nova, and plus 5 chest level, whatever. I'm not going to roll them too heavily in this particular case. But so far I haven't been particularly lucky with the draws. A 1% quality, well, I should probably re-roll that, but I'm not going to bother. Not going to bother, just want to make sure that they're rolled. The Gambler. Okay. And Monsters Explode, so we'll make sure and give this a wide berth. Right. Onslaught, probably should have looked at that ahead of time, but alright, and we're at the boss. So not a very lucky run in this particular case, but we did at least make up the shaped alleyways that we spent. And got a couple of divination cards, but the goal is you just run this hundreds of times. Eventually you get some of those divination cards that drop exalts, and you can be quite rich. And you can keep running a nice easy map over and over and over again. I've gotten as many as 5, 6 shaped alleyways from a single shaped alleyways before, so this method works out really great for that. If you enjoyed, or if you have a specific map that you really like to run, maybe you're searching for a headhunter, maybe you're trying to go for a bigger game, or maybe you just try to get, the 7 elks from divination cards, or you like to try to get the fusing orbs, let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye!